Hello, my name is Ben Cornell, and this presentation assignment is for the International Business course at Carson College of Business for the fall semester of 2021. This assignment is on one aspect of the current international business environment. In this assignment, I will be talking about a current news article that I found on CNN Money called "Zoom Stock Plunge as Sales Grow Slow" by Parl Arlamonca. This article was made on August 31st, 2021, so it's very current, only a couple days old. As we all know, Zoom was a hugely successful business during the pandemic and ultimately changed how business is done locally and internationally. But before we start talking about that, I'd like to just give you a little brief bio on myself. I live in Washington State, and I work for the Washington State Department of Ecology, and I also work for the Coast Guard as a reservist. In these jobs, I respond to oil and chemical spills, namely from sunk boats and car wrecks and things along those lines. But every once in a while, I also suit up and get in a hazmat suit and deal with drug labs or hazmat incidents, such as white powders or chemical suicides, things along those lines. In this photo here, I'm in the basement of a white supremacist on the east side of Washington. And I'm collecting hazmat, trying to make the scene safe so the law enforcement can collect evidence. But back to the narrative. So Zoom stock plunge, sales grow slow. That sounds kind of scary, right? Ultimately, though, why should we care about this? I mean, if you're not invested in the stock, which I'm not, I don't care a whole lot. But ultimately, Zoom has become integral in a lot of the ways our businesses have run, right? I'm sure this scene looks very familiar to all of you, kind of Brady Bunch style, where there's lots of special guest appearances by friends and family, and we've all gotten to know each other's dogs and spouses and such. But so what's going on with Zoom is they've experienced a 17% loss in their stock value over the course of one day. And this has occurred for a couple different reasons, but the main reason is it's believed that there's just so many rivals out there that are all pursuing a low-cost strategy. So they're taking away a lot of the small businesses that Zoom caters to. And to fight this, Zoom has acquired Five9, and this is it's a company that does a lot of artificial intelligence work, and they work in call centers, which is kind of interesting. They have like 120 languages and kind of coaches actual real life people on how to respond to customer complaints. Very, very interesting. I'm interested to see how that all turns out. But there are so many rivals out there right now. I mean, I'm sure I've missed some of them, and I'm sure you guys have all had the joy of jumping from one platform to another over the course of a day. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about my embarrassing Zoom story, because I'm sure we all have them by now. I am, like probably many of you, where I'm only professional from the waist up. And on one particular day, I chose to wear a sweater that I had previously shrunk. And I love this sweater because it looks great. It's warm, it's comfortable, but the downside is it shows off my belly if I'm not careful. And well, on a Zoom call, I don't really care a whole lot. But my wife came in, and I was unmuted, of course, and she said, "Hey, sexy, belly's out, sun's out. What you doing over there?" And of course, all my coworkers heard me and proceeded to tease me relentlessly about that for the rest of the day. And I am positive you guys have all had similar experiences. Hopefully, nothing too embarrassing. But so ultimately, though, Zoom has done amazing over the last couple of years during the pandemic. In the last 5 years, it's gone up 369%. And has just skyrocketed. Taking quite a bit of the market share from a lot of the rivals. And as you can see here, like the first quarter of 2019, it was only making 60 million. but by the fourth quarter of 2021, it was making 883 million, which is just mind-boggling. And here you can see there's a comparison chart between 5 large airline companies and Zoom in the billions of dollars being comparable. So here's another interesting little bit of data I found on the internet. So the North American market share for Zoom is about 40%. The Asian Pacific market share is about 23%. So it's interesting, like Zoom is not the number one teleconferencing app. It's the second one, the first one being Microsoft Office in their suite. So while I was doing some research, I came across this other little tidbit called freemium. I'd never heard that word before, so I dug it up a little bit. It's essentially like where you offer a free service, and then to kind of get people used to the application, and then like you offer tiers to increase to make money. So like with Zoom, they offer free services between one-on-one meetings, like one-on-one meetings for like 40 minutes. And then once you go beyond that and have more people, you need to sign up and pay. So it's rather interesting. I'd never heard that term before. And in conclusion, I'd like to just thank you guys for watching this, and look forward to your comments, and look forward to working with you guys for the rest of the semester. Have a good evening.